everyone, JSD Cool here, and welcome to another episode of Coolcraft Season 5. In the last episode, I built this gold farm here, which is arguably pretty big. However, it is not nearly as big as what I built 2 episodes ago, which is this gigantic witch farm perimeter here. Now, all of that pales in comparison to the size of what I'm going to start to attempt to construct in this episode. And it all starts on the other side of this nether portal that I'm building. And it all starts right here on this mushroom island, which will soon become the base of operations. Because, you see, you may think, oh, you're going to build something the size of this mushroom island? Well, kind of, but no. It's going to be much larger than this mushroom island, extending much farther than that, but we'll get to that later. To start with, I'm going to have to dig out a large area underneath this island, so naturally I've gotten a few beacons over here. Also, the texture pack that I have that makes mushrooms 3D does not like these cows. Jeez. To start off with here, I have added a few beacons, specifically 4 around, and I have some overlays on to show me their range and stuff so that they all perfectly cover the area. However, if we go into spectator mode here, you will see that I have put them all actually relatively high up, and that is because there is, under basically this entire mushroom island, a lush cave biome really not that far down. And, you know, considering that entirely defeats the point of a mushroom island, it's basically I have to do this mining all the way up here, or else it's basically pointless. Because you can see how the entire thing is basically just covered in this lush caves biome down here, which is kind of annoying. You know, downside to 3D biomes is that it messes with the biomes that you actually want when you don't want it to. It does eventually down in the deep slate layer here go back to Mushroom Island, but that is kind of useless because, you know, because, you know, I want just instant mining stuff, because that's what we need the beacons for, to be in the stone layer. So yeah, as I just alluded to, now we're going to, basically the layer of all these beacons, which I guess we'll cut into open air right in this little thing here, we're gonna go get mining out a huge chunk of land on this mushroom island. So I've started to dig out the space here, starting out one of these beacons, and it is actually a little bit close to the ocean here, as you can see. You can just go straight out into the water. Thanks to this, I'm blanking, seagrass, the tall seagrass. Thanks to this tall seagrass there that doesn't let the water in for some reason. Yeah, I'm able to dig right up to the ocean there. And yeah, I have stopped, however, because it's kind of annoying to have to go and repair my pickaxe continuously throughout digging this out. So I'm thinking that it's now time to actually get on a little bit of netherite. So to acquire the netherite, I have built a tunnel boring machine here in the nether to acquire the netherite. And it is currently 3 wide, but as I discover more netherite, I will make it wider. It was originally only supposed to be 2 wide, and then I found 3 more netherite while mining out the area. So it became 3 wide. And yes, now my life is just going to be plugging up lava holes for a while. Woo! Bam! The audio is now completely different as I am back to my original setup. Anyhow. Or at least as close to my original setup as I can get. So anyhow, after a while of running the machine, I've gotten 1 stack and 59, and then I ran into a lava-logged cave that I do not want to bother with right now, so this will be enough for now. So yeah, now I can upgrade all my tools, apart from the axe and armor, to netherite. Oh, upgrades later, and a bunch of digging, and I've exhausted the range of this first beacon here, and apparently I missed a cup. I have no idea how I missed this. Anyhow, now that this first area is cleared out, I'm going to actually go and do a little bit of preparation for some of the stuff that's going to be coming up here. So that upgrade, or whatever it was that I said that I would be working on, is this here, which is a very, very, very small storage system to store some of the resources I get from mining down below, and all extra resources get just thrown off there. Now, I have used that system to dig out a massive amount of space underground here, an entire second beacon there, and parts of these two beacons, which this may actually be as far as I'm getting because, well, we need to go above ground to explain why. The thing about these beacons is they were positioned not so well on this island, and this island is not very square in case you haven't noticed. So while this beacon here is entirely inland, all the other beacons actually contain a non-zero amount of water within their borders. So what we're going to be essentially building on top of this island is obviously not going to be going all the way out. Plus, I'm obviously mining up so far that it's going to poke out into the ocean, regardless. So what I'm actually going to have to do now is I'm going to have to decide where the square, or I guess rectangular area of the above ground section is going to go, and then, you know, translate that underground. A line has been constructed here underground to show where the edges of the above platform slash structure, haven't really decided yet, will be. So now, what is this underground space here for? Well, my current plan is to turn this area into a massive chunk loading grid for this place. It will be controlled from the nether side as we are using portal chunk loading. So yeah, now a little bit last episode makes more sense because I needed a ton of obsidian for chunk loaders. So yeah, now I gotta plan out where all the chunk loaders are going. Portal frames have been installed, in the overworld at least. Now I gotta go to the nether to install the frames there. And also actually probably dig out an area large enough to put them in. So apparently, the nether side of this chunk loading grid is going to be right inside of this bastion here. Actually, it's a couple blocks lower than what I am here, and basically on the wall. So yeah, looks like I'm gonna have to take on a bastion here real quick. Yeah. The nether side of this operation has been installed, and the actual chunk loading mechanisms have also been put in. However, they are currently button operated. That is currently just due to the fact that I don't know where the clock is gonna go or how it's going to work yet. So we're gonna figure that out later. But first, I need to make sure that a ton of magma cubes don't spawn in this area whenever I'm here, because we are apparently in a basalt delta. So I knew it wasn't in the jelly box. Out comes the carpet. So it would appear that the 3D texture pack has been fixed so that the cows no longer have spasming out mushrooms. Huh. Interesting. Anyhow, the next thing on our to-do list today is to build the platform for the structure that we are going to be building here, and it's quite large as it has to cover a large range of these beacons. Obviously not the entire thing, but a good chunk of it, and I actually have to decide what height it's going to be, which is probably going to be dictated by like this hill here or that hill there, just so I don't have to like remove stuff to build this platform. But yeah, this platform is so large that it requires 14 shulker boxes of resources. I'm building out of polished deep slate as well, which may have been a mistake, but I've collected it all, so yeah, let's, I guess, do a time-lapse of the construction process then. That'll be fun. lot of block placement later, and oh boy, it took a while, but you know, ultimately it wasn't that bad. You know, just placing the same block in a flat area over and over again. Apart from the fact that I ran out of blocks just before the end. I had this one little strip to do it a little bit more, and I ran out. Anyhow, now that I built this large platform above the chunk loading area, what am I actually using it for? Well, this platform is going to be the storage system. The centralized storage system, despite how far away from everything that currently exists it is. But that's, you know, half the point of it, that it's kind of far away from everything. As, this will be the storage system, well, not necessarily my main storage system, although probably it will turn out to be that due to just actually how large this area is. 'Cause it's actually a bit larger than I anticipated, because, like, I'm not actually sure if I'm just generally going to be able to fill this all up. But this will turn into be the gigantic automated storage system for all my farms everywhere around the world, regardless of whether they are in what dimension. Probably apart from the end, as the end is a little bit confusing. So, of course, to start with, we're going to need some chests. And now, I'm just going to say right now, these chests are definitely going to be temporary, as I haven't actually designed the redstone systems for this yet. So I'll probably end up taking a backup of the world, and, yeah, just using that to design actually what the storage system is going to look like. But until then, I'm just going to place down a whole bunch of chests so you can get the idea of what I'm going for. So this is what roughly the layout all of the storage system is going to look like. And mind you, these may be shelter box loaders or, you know, just a stack of chests. But each farm is going to get its own slice like this. And of course there will be, you know, hoppers and stuff going into the chests to make it, you know, work. But yes, this is only a small fraction of what is actually going to be here, obviously. Let alone this does not take into account at all the system that will actually bring the items in, which will most likely start around, or come in around here. Anyhow, as you can tell, it is now getting quite close to Christmas time, and I want to get this video on Christmas. So, with that being said, I'm going to have to say thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Please make sure to like and subscribe. Check out my game, which is linked in the description, and I will see you all in the next episode of Coolcraft Season 5. Bye!